right, and welcome back to another episode of Island Fans. And at this point, I think we are 4 days away from the Premier League kicking off with I think it's Manchester City versus Burnley on Friday afternoon, of course, local time. But nevertheless, we are getting to that point. We are excited. Football is almost back fully, and at this point, we are looking forward to it. I'm here with Moy them at the start of tonight's show. Fresh off for the Community Shield. There's none to brag about, but it's a game that you definitely you don't want. I mean, if you lose, you're not spin. If you win, there's nothing to celebrate. You don't have an open bus parade for it. But it's a game you don't want to lose more, right?
Yep. I think it goes to say that if your team does lose, I guess it's in the manner the way that your team loses. I know it doesn't really define, how the season start, but if your team is to lose the game, you don't want to see good glimpses, showing that okay, the season looks like something we should look forward to. And with that, it's decent to see.
But just from a neutral standpoint, the game yesterday was a good spectacle. If you didn't
Really good.
if you didn't have any persuasion whether City or Arsenal, the game was just a good game to watch. Tactically, you can see both teams. You can see that these were the two top teams last year. Now we don't know if this is what it's going to be this upcoming season because a lot of things could happen, injuries and stuff like that could happen. You see, Nkunku being ruled out for a couple of months for Chelsea, a couple of days before the first match in the Premier League. So different these things could happen. The transfer window is still open. Teams could make additions, or teams could sell players or even loan players. So you don't want to put too much on it. It's definitely something you just like, yeah, because I'm going to social media, and from an Arsenal perspective, what I'm seeing is a lot of the fans are saying, "Hey, look, what we wanted was to see a good, like, was to see that we can." Because last year when we were on our peak, we weren't competing against City. City came to the Emirates, turned us over. We went to the Etihad, we got turned over there too. I remember we played in the FA Cup, but we got turned over there too. I think we only managed one goal, two goals versus City last season. And in this game, we had I would say we had the better of the chances. We had the better of the play, and so it looks like a step in the right direction. But of course, the tale will be told when the Premier League actually starts. So, Moy, are you happy if City doesn't make any more additions or any more outgoings? Are you happy with the preparation and with the team you have going into the season?
Uh, I wouldn't be complaining about, the team that played yet. Well, the additions that we have right now, going into the season, I wouldn't be unhappy or make too much complaints. But I would like to see at least maybe a winger coming. Um, yeah, because I think even though Mahrez wasn't an out and out starter, getting that type of winger that could come and contribute goals or whatever would be a huge addition to the team. I know we would link to like Matoma, Doku, and Olise. Um, and my thing is, yes, all them are good players, but my take on it also is that how much of an upgrade are they on the likes of maybe Cole Palmer, as we would say. And it's not a reactionary stuff by just his goal yesterday. He's a very
Right.
good player with, he played mostly on the left wing. You can see out his comfort zone. When he plays the right wing, you see when he gets the ball, he picks it up. He's more direct. That's what I like about him. That's what I'm saying. We bring in these players. I mean, squad depth is good. It will be good fit on competition. But I'm saying maybe this could be the season that we give him his stride since
Yeah,
Mao
that's right.
and you think because if it's not such a massive upgrade from Olise Mitoma or whatever, I say give Cole Palmer the chance and let him cook to see what he can do.
I think that's a fair assessment because many times you find a lot of teams out there, everybody wants, oh, bring in somebody. This is the exact reason why you have an academy. This is why you have an academy to bring to these players to see exactly what they're made of, to see exactly what they can do. So it'll be good. It'll be good to see exactly what's going on with what happens in that situation. Personally, from an Arsenal perspective, with Gabriel Jesus being out, and you know what, to be honest, I'm worried right now because they had to go back into the knee. They had to go back in his knee, and I think they said they had to clean up some things. I mean, knee once your knee start bothering you, it tends to linger. So I'm not ready to write him off. I'm saying we're gonna need I'm looking for somebody up front. I think they're about to wrap up the Raya deal. So that would be good. But I still would love to see a striker coming this season. All right, so based on that,
Um,
more from a neutral. Go ahead, go ahead.
oh, I was going to say, I don't know if you listen. I think it's Dan Wabi from Arsenal TV.
Yeah,
The Yeah, I saw on TikTok like he made a suggestion saying that the community shield they should change it from the community shield and make it, build it up even more. Like you have the super cups in like La
yeah.
Liga cup. Like they should make it that because the community shield it just seems like a low.
I
As
don't.
I would say, a glorified. I think it's like a glorified friendly. Every year it is. Your team lose, they're going to make trash and say, "Oh, we don't want that, this and that." Your team win, you're going to celebrate because it's a trophy that you won. You
I
know,
don't think changing the name makes a difference. I heard him say that. I'm like, would it really change the outlook on it? I don't think so. Because
what do you
calling it
think?
a cup, I don't think it would change the outlook
What
on
do
it.
you think?
We all know,
Putting it during like a halfway point of somewhere during the season changes the intensity of it.
yeah, but then that also changes the how you get to qualify for it. We all know it's a curtain raiser. It's for charity. It's for charity. I don't think it's going to change. It's it's not meant to be prestigious. It doesn't have to be prestigious either. That's how I put it. I was going to ask you, how do you say what do you think about Arsenal yesterday?
I mean, I must give you know commendable to Arteta and his tactics that he used yesterday because last season when we played or even self just watching some of these friendly games that Arsenal there against big teams, they were mostly going out on the attack and staying on the front foot. But like yesterday, Arsenal seemed like they took more of the conservative effort and tried to hit on the counter attack. And I mean, it was very good because they choose when to actually go forward and do because I think Ben White and Saka, they did an excellent job on that right side. Because even self Saka was coming in to try to deter the defender. Ben White is making that run on the outside. So then it was very hard for Akanji to try to pick up the two, try to decide where should he go. Um, I thought Timber looked very good yesterday.
Yeah, I did.
I didn't. I think midfield from the midfield aspect from both teams wasn't really as much to pick out to say because it was more like I think it's a control game that you see in any much breakup plays like that. But the tempo, they set the tempo. I think Arsenal was good. You see a glimpse of what they're ready to show for this season, and it's just to move on. Therefore,
All right. What I noticed from City yesterday was they had more. Like they were set up in a 4-4. It was like 4-4-2. But in possession, y'all had Kovacic and Rodri sitting there, and it was Grealish, Haaland, Alvarez, and Bernardo Silva. So it turned into like a 4-2-4. I'm like, okay, this could be dangerous because they're going to occupy our back four. So our midfield, and that's what I liked when I saw, especially on your goal kicks and stuff like that. I saw Arteta pushing Declan Rice and Odegaard all the way up to pick up on Kovacic and and Rodri. So the ball had to go long. And even when we did it in reverse, I thought that Havertz was good too in his hold up play, something that I wouldn't expect from him, to be honest. But if City goes far with that 4-2-4, especially when they have the ball, I'm thinking that could be problematic this season. I mean, anything that Pep does usually comes off as a problem for most
the
other teams. But that was a difference that I saw yesterday.
The only thing I would just say about the City side of it, I mean, I know me and you had a conversation. I was telling you that City don't like to win community shields, and you know the press conference that Pep did.
Yeah, result.
But the only difference that you noticed with that game yesterday and previous games we played, we were flat. Like you could tell that they were really trying to find their fitness. But yesterday they were really up for it and seemed like they're getting their glimpse, getting there. And if it was the opposition, Arsenal brought out something different because probably that's the new type of rivalry we're going to see right now. But I mean, it wasn't anything to be mad about or have any reactionary thoughts of saying this person should go or whatnot. It was just you lose, you're sad about it, but you just chill at the end of the day.
And even to that point, boy, you see, you lose. If any team, I feel like that was a loss. And when watching, let's say Arsenal lost. I say I would have been sat here. I would be sat here saying, I'm proud of the boys because at moments, I thought it was progression. I saw progression because at moments I saw, City had the ball. Of course, you're playing against City. You're gonna have to defend. That's the greatest team in the world right now. We were resolute in that, and then when we had our time on the ball, we were expressive in what we wanted to do. So I was proud, and I was even if we lost, I was like, just cool boys. I'm proud of what I saw yesterday. So that's just the community. We're champions again. Since City are losses the last 3 times in a row. So that's definitely not City's thing. But what we want to touch on tonight, of course, we are um 4 days away from the Premier League. So we want to lock in our top six. We want to talk about the flops of the season, or player of the season, who we think is going to win Golden Boots, a player to watch from your team, and a player to watch from another team in the league. So let's just start at the lighter side, more. Let's just talk about some players. So some players that you will think that this season, outside of the regular ordinary, who do play a player to watch from City and then somebody from another team.
Um, from City, I would like to see. I would like to see what Kovacic actually brings to the team. I mean, to see what he offers in that midfield role, how well he adjusts going throughout the season. I'm not really looking at the obvious one. Especially also if Foden does play that midfield role, I want to see how well he adapts to, because that would be something new for him since he hasn't played it for a while.
Yeah.
And other teams, I would like to see the likes of uh, Alan Cousin. I'm still learning the name.
Hoy, Hoy,
Um,
Hoy, Hoy, Hoy,
Rashford.
Hoyland.
Yes, I would like to see how Hoyland adapts to United.
Okay.
Seeing, he goes to a bigger club, has more things, creativity to get. To see how Declan Rice does in the midfield role for Arsenal. Who else is there? And Kunku is out, so you have to wait on that. Yeah, I think for that is yeah. I'll just leave it as those two for now.
Yeah, you mentioned a couple of things that I'm looking forward to. Jaleel has we were talking today, and as a comment that I made, just on the whole carnival thing. That's the joke he's making there. Um, I'm from Arsenal. I'm really looking forward to how I want to see what Havertz bring. I want to see what he brings to the table. I want to see how Arteta uses it. He played 9 for us yesterday. I thought he was very good, but I wouldn't necessarily say, oh yeah, leave Havertz up there. I want to see how I personally think that this year, and this is me getting into another thing that we want to talk about too, but I'll bring it back up then. I'm thinking that this year is going to be Saka's year. Saka's year for player of the season. I really think that he from preseason I've seen a different side of him. I've seen a different side of him. Like his one on ones, he's winning those individual battles, and I'm like, you know what? that's something to watch. And if he can continue, then I think he's going to get a lot more goals and a lot more assists and build on what he did last year. Sam Suko is saying here, Havertz got some really good chances taking all by his side, but the problem exists, he is not a finisher. That's right. That's right. I mean, he will continue to get chances. And I put that down yesterday to a really good save. But he will continue to get chances. I personally don't want him to be there. But if that's the case, I know he will end up bagging some goals. Bagging some goals for us. More, I want to see Diaby. Diaby from Villa. I'm excited to see Diaby from Villa. I want to see Szoboszlai in Liverpool. This is, and again, you're gonna see Liverpool. You're gonna see Liverpool in a new light because Diaz got injured for a lot of the season last year. They're trying to redo the midfield, so there are a lot of new things happening there. But I want to see Szoboszlai, and I want to see how he gels with the whole Liverpool setup. My thing is though, more I've been saying and I'm keeping in my mind, but I don't even know if he gets that starting spot. I'm thinking about Nunes. I'm thinking that I've always thought that this is going to be his year. We're going to see, second year in the league. You understand that I think he had most chances missed, big chances missed last year. So it wasn't a lack of chances he was getting. He just wasn't clinical. But with Jota, Gakpo, Diaz, who else is there? I don't remember, but then there's a lot of players in that position for him to play. So I just don't know if Klopp would favor him. That's what I'm thinking about.
I think he will get the favor still, because he's basically, you could say, like an out and out striker for them for sure.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I'm just trying to look. Jamal sent in his view on these things that we're talking about. He says the player to watch from Arsenal, he's watching Timber and ESR, Emily Smith Rowe. And he said from another team, he is looking at Modric and Nkunku when Nkunku gets back fit. Dear Moy. But that Modric too, he's another one. It's his second season in the league, half season because he came in January. He had some good flashes in preseason. We know you have the skill set, more. Are you thinking that he can cement that left wing spot for Chelsea on the patch? You see how patch use Son. Maybe he could be deployed the same way.
I'm just looking at Chelsea's squad and wondering how all these players, because yes, they brought in a couple players this season, but then they still have the likes of some of these players that they brought in January, like Madueke. They still have Sterling that would look to show out, try to make a better impression that he did. They had a couple players that came in, and you're looking to see those players what they can build on, and if they're not really a flop, because that's what we would say now, to see how they would gel with that. And also, I know he's not a player, but to shine light on Klopp, to see how well he gels the Chelsea team and how well he puts them forward. So that's
Wait,
also something to watch for me too. Yeah, Pochettino.
Oh, I think you said Klopp.
No.
Yeah, so yeah, I think too, the Chelsea fans they have to give him time because if they only play once a week, so the expectation is that they can get a couple wins together. But does he even know his best team at this point? That'll be something that we're thinking about. Does he at this point knows his best team, and how long does it take, or will it take for him to figure it out? And when does that now translate to wins and start getting some wins under his belt? That'll be something interesting for us to see. So I'm looking. When it comes to I don't want to stay on the big teams. I'm wondering with Mitoma, then picking my fantasy and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, man, I want to Mitoma for real. What's going to happen with Kane? I see Tottenham reject the bid from Bayern Munich. So there's still a lot of conundrums in and out the season. But more, if you are to pick now, let's jump to your flop of the season, more. Who Jamal says his flop of the season will be he is going for Madison. Madison as flop of the season. What are you thinking about here? Um, that's a tough one. That's a
What is
tough one because to be a flop, there has to be some great expectation you put on this person. So I'm trying to think. I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible.
I'm not. I don't know. I'm trying to not. I don't really think it probably might be a new signing that just
Right. We
joined.
don't have to be. Yeah.
I don't think it would be one of those players. I think it's somebody that was the
Yeah, man. The flop of the season can easily be somebody who I mean even from
yo to
even
look.
from one of those where's the Mike?
Maybe if I'm looking at the signing of this season, I mean the flop. I don't really want to call it a flop, but not looking so good. Might be one of Liverpool's midfield signing, either McAllister or maybe Sabazlai. Because I don't think the two of them will get the adequate amount of game time that they
Hmm.
wish they would be getting.
I'm liking that McAllister one. That McAllister one may be a show. That McAllister one may be a show. So what about Foden? Let's just say what happens if Foden gets those minutes, goes get those Gundogan minutes, and he finishes the season with like just 2 goals and 3 assists? Would that be labeled as a flop?
He would. I can't lie
Mm,
because you
mm,
expect you expect you expect a lot from him. Um,
mm.
I I really don't know.
Yeah, that one type. That one tough. It's tough to just label. I mean, I could. The one that Jamal said, Madison. There, I see how it could be, but like, okay, you said Madison,
I think he's basically the only creative player, and he would look to get. So that's why I think would. But it could
but
go
then
wrong
more
too.
you look at like Harvey Barnes, who went to Newcastle.
Oh,
If
that's
he
true.
doesn't take the word alike though, but you didn't have what expectation you have of Harvey Barnes? Because I'm not expecting him to know double figures in either goals or assists.
Maybe even self Tonali. I don't think Tonali would probably turn up the
Hmm.
midfield.
I still don't think Tonali wants to be there. So that's another discussion whether or not Tonali really wants to be in Newcastle. It'll be interesting to see what Newcastle does.
But
More
for me, if I'm
go
if
ahead.
I'm locking it in, because we'd usually lock it in based on new signings, I would go with I would go with I would say sub Buzzline, because I think McAllister might be the one to get more minutes.
I think if you had to choose between those two more, which I think are two really good ones, I think I would go McAllister. I think Sabazlai has that in him to single-handedly make something out of nothing. That's what I'm thinking. And what about even Tielemans, who made the move to on a free to Aston Villa? Kind of
Oh,
free
that's
man be a
true.
flop, you know?
Good.
Kind of free man be a flop. I mean, okay, let me ask. Declan Rice, 105 million. That's the most expensive transfer for the season. In the Premier League. What is a flop season for Declan Rice? I think Shaka
That's
had
what I was thinking.
seven. I think Shaka had 7 goals and 7 assists last season. I don't quote me. I think it's something like that, or maybe 6 and 6. Is that the benchmark?
Yo, what the reason why I didn't call his name, because I think it's so difficult. I don't want to, shine light less on wherever the position is, but you normally, like when you play so deep, it's normally difficult to say to like set a benchmark for them on what is a good season or not.
Yeah, I think that's I even wrong. We have to watch that and see. We have to watch it and see, and then maybe at the end of the season, we can really say, yeah, this person did not live up to our expectations. This person did not live up to our expectation. And I think that's what you have to come down to. I can't look at it now and say, okay, you know what, this man gonna just flop. Like he not gonna do nothing at all. Like I just I know. I'm ready for that one day. Maybe by Thursday. Maybe by Thursday I'll come back with one. Boy, is it a foregone conclusion that Haaland will win the Golden Boot again? I think he has a really good chance, of course. I mean, he scored 36. You would think that that's an anomaly season. And even if
Yeah, I think
that corrects itself, let's say maybe he got maybe what 12 goals more than he should have gotten last season. That's still 24. 24 can win you the Golden Boot.
yeah, and I think that's the point I made on the last show. That when you asked me what's my mark for him, I was saying that if Harry Kane does it, and you say a lesser team that doesn't get all their creativity, manages to try to fight for that 30 goal mark, averages between at least 23 goals up or 25, we say at least. Haaland that should get all those amount of chances. I think it's doable though to pay him to go again.
Hmm. So okay. So if Haaland scores 10 goals in the league, is that a flop?
Yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
because you're looking,
I mean,
yo,
that's
I
like
think he hit
26 goals.
such a height, and then you're looking at your star player that normally that should be the one to back the goals. And especially it would look more like a flop, especially if Alvarez manages to take that spot
Hmm.
and leads the goal scoring charts. Then it would look even more of a flop in that aspect of it.
Imagine if Pep benches him because Alvarez been so good.
I
That'll be
mean,
that'll be that'll be something to see. That
it
definitely be
would.
something. So I think most people would say Haaland, but if we're not saying Haaland more, Salah. What about Salah? Salah, Kane. I still think Kane stays in the league. However reluctant it may be. Who will be the top candidates? Because
Um,
Tony is out. He's out until thing. He was in it last year. Ollie Watkins. How
Isaac,
about him?
Isaac could
Is
get
that?
some goals.
Isaac,
Isaac,
okay. Isaac, maybe Wilson, because sometimes Wilson plays more further forward than him. And then they put Isaac wide. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of Brighton signed this kid, João Pedro,
oh, that from Watford, from
from
Watford.
Watford. Yeah. I'm not seeing it outside of the regulars, the Salahs, okay. Could it be Gakpo? You see, again, who will be favored in that position? So that's why I can't go for anybody else but Haaland. I'm really trying to think of somebody else to upset that.
I think Salah is just the goal scoring um man for Liverpool.
Yeah, he just gets goals.
Um, maybe you could say maybe Rashford to enter the reckoning.
Well, he's gonna be, yeah, I think he's gonna be up front, at least for the start of the season until Haaland, maybe the first 3 games, until Haaland comes into it. Um, yeah, it could be. Moy, have you thought about the relegation? Have you thought
Tell
about
me.
relegation? I'm thinking. I want to give. I think Burnley did so well last year that I don't think they should go down. I know it's a completely different league, but I'm saying you played that well, so there must be something about you down there. Granted, we have seen Norwich come up and go straight back down, but I'm not at this point. I'm not putting Burnley in there. I'm looking at Luton because I just don't think I don't even know the stadium not even gonna be ready for the opening weekend of the season. I don't know if as a club they have made that Premier League club step. So immediately they in my list to go back down. Luton. I think Nottingham. I don't remember hearing Nottingham doing much moves. They could probably say they will just sign my goalkeeper there, Turner. So I'm looking at Luton and I'm looking at Sheffield United. That's two.
I had that too, plus
Not
Bournemouth.
and who?
Plus Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. Bournemouth could be a shout. I'm looking at Nottingham no more because I don't feel like they've made any significant moves, and they just beat the drop last year.
True.
They just beat the drop last year. I think Everton would be sound defensively, and that's what will take them away from the relegation zone. So I'm not putting Everton there, but Luton and Sheffield for sure. For sure, I have those in my two to go down.
I
I
think
have
two of the
those
new
in my
clubs
two
will
to go
go
down.
down for sure. I could see that happening.
I'm trying to think of another one because usually you have one Premier League mainstays that just don't perform. What
Yeah.
about what about what about what about Fulham? What about Palace? What about Wolves?
Who did Wolves? What did Wolves
Fulham,
sign?
Palace, Wolves,
Jimenez left the Wolves too,
him
though.
and gone to Fulham. I think I
Oh.
I don't think those teams would drop.
I'm still stuck with Bournemouth and Nottingham
We go
seem like a
Bournemouth.
show.
Okay.
I'm
All
going
right.
with
So
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. All right. So Bournemouth. We're thinking about Bournemouth. We're thinking about Nottingham. We're thinking about Sheffield, and we're thinking about Luton.
Yep.
I think one of Sheffield United best players was one of Man City youths, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he's not going back there, is he? Who was it? It was what's his name? Was
It
it
was
the
but
midfielder?
they had two now. They had McAtee and
Yeah,
who
it was
name
McAtee.
again? Tell me Doyle. It's Doyle, yeah, Doyle and all.
I think it was McAtee. McAtee was I was thinking about. All right, okay. So we watched that relegation space. I have who do I have? I have Nottingham this weekend. You have another one of the promoted teams, in Burnley. Let me see. Let me see who else. Sheffield have Palace, and who's the other team that came up?
They Luton game get postponed.
The game get postponed.
Yeah, I don't think they playing. Remember, I think they said they would postpone it.
Oh, I thought they were just gonna play it away. Oh,
I think that's the question everybody was asking. Why did they ain't just switch the fixtures? But I think they said they postponed.
okay. That's already gonna have double game weeks already. Okay. So Moy, let's get down to business now. Top six. Top six. I think the Premier League is so deep this year that we could even discuss a top eight, but it's top six.
Um,
Top six.
for me, in order, I'm going with. I think City would make history this season.
Oh, four P.
I think we have
Four
enough to
P.
go again. So I'll go with my boys. I'll go with Man City first. I'll go with Arsenal second. I'll go with the United in a third place.
City, Arsenal, United, the same top three. Okay.
That's the same top three. My fourth place, tough, but I give Liverpool. I think Liverpool makes the top four again, and then Chelsea and Tottenham.
Mm. You're going with the traditional six. You're going with the
Yo,
traditional
yo, I
six.
okay. That's okay. My feelings is I think there's a twist up. I don't really know how it is. Like a piece of me is telling me that Liverpool still like they miss something. But
Yeah.
they have the likes of them that would still manage them to force to go in that top four because
Because
they was one of the best.
they haven't really fixed that midfield
Yeah,
totally yet.
they
Right.
wasn't the best last season, but they were still in the fight to try and make it until it just slipped away from them right there. And then I think my last three, fifth, sixth, and then I just at seventh is a toss up between Chelsea, Tottenham, Aston Villa. As
So no
I do,
Brighton, what about Brighton?
I think they'll finish top 10 along with
Mm,
Newcastle because
okay.
I don't think Newcastle will be too good this season.
Jamal says Arsenal, no, City, sorry. City won, Chelsea in second. So Jamal has City in first, and with City winning the title again. That's 4-8. Chelsea second, Arsenal third, Liverpool fourth, Man United fifth, and Newcastle sixth. So Tottenham finishing outside of the top six for Jamal, and he has Chelsea from 12th to second. Chelsea from 12th to second.
Yo,
Sukwa says here, um, City, Liverpool, Arsenal, United, Brighton, Chelsea, and Villa. So City again is another person. City is on 4-peat. Then Liverpool, what's that? From 5th to 2nd. Arsenal in 3rd. United in 4th, rounding off the Champions League spots. And Brighton 5th and Chelsea 6th and Villa 7th. In my mind, I'm going Arsenal. I'm going the same top three again. But I'm looking for United to make a sterner push. So it won't be necessarily a two-horse race at the top. I'm looking for United to make that push. Liverpool, I think Liverpool is going to be really good this season. I think Liverpool will be better than they were. Sorry, there. I think Liverpool will be better than they were last season. So I'm okay. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and Liverpool's going to be in and around it. But then they're going to be leading the next set of 3. So it's going to be between them, Chelsea, Liverpool, Chelsea, and I'm sneaking in Aston Villa. I think Villa will be competing for that 6th spot. And if I choose today, Villa will be in that 6th spot. My thing with Chelsea, that they have one game a week. Chelsea have one game a week, but then that doesn't always translate, especially now that Nkunku is out. That's a big part of their project. But I did like what I see from certain players in the preseason. Is just for us to watch and see if it works out to be the same thing. But I'm not ready to put it like Jamal to put them in second. No, I think that would be too much of a jump for them because I don't even think that defensively they're that sound. I don't think they're this sound defensively. They still don't know whether it should be Chilwell or Cucurella. Who's going to be the I know they brought in the 45 million. Disasi, is it Sassi? Disasi, would he be paid with Thiago Silva or Body Shield coming back in? Yeah, no. Yeah, so I'm going with the same top 3 from last season. But I'm putting Arsenal down to make that one step further and to stop that 4-peat because we really won't be able to hold them City fans to stop that 4-peat. City, United. That United one could be ticklish with Liverpool though. So, but 1, 2, 3, Arsenal, City, United. Then I go Liverpool, Chelsea, and then Aston Villa for me. Aston Villa. And the Unai Emery. That's right. They're gonna be my surprise team, more. They're gonna be my surprise team this season. I'm thinking, bro, that the additions that they made is what I thought the Newcastle should have made, especially being in, and of course they're in Europe too. So I know you have to factor that in. But Unai Emery has turned them around. We saw the numbers from since he came in last season when he took them over. What I said a couple of weeks ago, I think Newcastle going to be hard to beat for the big teams. And I think they're going to beat up on the other smaller teams. So yes, they're going to have the big teams and them doing their thing, and then you're going to have to take notice of of Villa like we did with Newcastle last year. Maybe
My
not so much like top four, but I think when you go, it's like everybody was talking about last year about St. James Park, St. James Park. I think when you look and you see you're playing Villa, you're not gonna count those 3 points. It's guaranteed.
my thought on Villa is yes, I think they will do good, but at the same time, I'm just really hoping that it's not one of those Premier League teams that make signings and they don't really live up to their expectations. They're like
Yeah.
Everton had couple of seasons of those where they made decent signings and was like, okay, team seem decent enough to make a little push, get them up the table more. Uh, that's what I'm hoping. It's not one of those seasons for Aston Villa.
I'm hoping that it's not. I'm hoping that it's not. But generally, I'm looking at it. I'm saying that they, because of based on what they did last year, it's not just they spent a bunch of money this summer. They warranted their position that they finished in last season, and I think they've built on it. This is why I disagree with what Julie says repeatedly that United shouldn't challenge. You set a premise, and I think that you with the addition that you've made, granted fitness, then you should make a push. As I look for Chelsea, of course, and Chelsea should be in and around the top four race too,
With
because they have quality in the squad.
so with that, I know we're basically talking about Aston Villa as like a surprise team. What would be a surprise team for you to win the Premier League? Not the traditional City as big clubs fighting. What would be that surprise team that could have that Leicester season in there?
I would go with Villa. I'd go with Villa. They have, but you see with Villa now, I don't trust their defense to be like, they win 1-0 and stuff like that. They would have to be they outscoring the opponents. So outside of the traditional six, defense win championships. I'm trying to think of who could be more defensively sound. They have a good striker. Yeah, I'd stick with Villamore. Yeah, I know that's one of my favorite teams to watch.
With
Outside of Arsenal,
with that, I mean, I could probably put maybe the likes of Newcastle up there.
maybe
And
Newcastle.
I know this team is, part of the big six, but if probably like Kane manages to stay at Tottenham, I think they could just be like a team to pull out that type of sneaky type of feeling where the likes of probably Son and Kane are just
I light it
when you
up,
be like that duo that's just firing and
and
unstoppable at that point.
they do have a new coach too. That's a new philosophy. We should see in the league this year.
Sure.
But my mm-mm. them they have a con. Them they me wouldn't even think Tottenham will win the league until Tottenham win the league. That's just
They
me.
probably have an exceed and
Super
Hazard.
saying the European levels will really test Villa. Apart from that, if they didn't have the extra European commitments, they would be a dark horse in the Prem. But then we say that what if they don't prioritize Europe? All of it, even if they do, but they got some a tough team. They said they did get out of the group, but they get knocked out of the first round of the knockout stages. I mean, that's still February. So if they're in and around the top six at that point, they could make a push. They could make a push for that top four.
Yep.
Sorry, dear. So that'll be
I think
interesting to
that's
see.
good.
But it's like our last season. Last season was a really good watch. A lot of teams were just beating other teams. You really couldn't count out teams. And a lot of these teams, the big teams, have gotten better. But you think we're in for that kind of season, more? Or be, you know what? Man City dominating, everybody just chasing, like it has been for in recent times. Or we're gonna have a stiff look at the relegation zone more. Remember we had, I think it was like coming up to April, and so we had 6 teams that could still be relegated. Do you think we will have a tight season like that on both ends of the Premier League table?
I think so. I think even we as big teams, I think this season we could see coming on the show after game weeks, we could see a lot of
Sure.
frustrating faces. I really think so. I really think there would be at least one, maybe two or three surprise results that really hit us to the core. Yeah, it's something like that. Some reason or I think we'll see a lot of goal of the season contenders type stuff and
Okay. Okay. What more? What is your what's the first big team that you're playing?
I don't even remember. I don't remember the full schedule now.
Mm. I have.
I
I think
don't.
I have United game week 4.
I
So
think I have
that'll
them
be
on
my
close
first.
now. But I'm not sure. I would have to check back and see. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
that'll be because I know Arsenal is Arsenal. I think we have Nottingham. I think Luton too. I think we play Luton early as well in the in the league. Man United start out with Wolves. Okay, let me just click on. Let me see. Let me see City. City stuff there. I'm trying to find the matches. You find it, Moy?
Searching. What do this that two of us?
All right. Let me just go back here. I know you play Burnley first, which I think would be a strong test for you guys. Then I'm
Yeah, we put
seeing.
Burnley on.
Then you play Newcastle. Isn't that a big game? Spurs and
That's a
United playing week 2 as well. And Arsenal have Palace in that week too. Then we play
accept cookies on all these sites.
October 2nd. That'll be the first one. That'll be the first big team. Unless you're counting Newcastle. If you're not counting Newcastle, then I think and I've played by the time I play you, I would have played Man United, I would play Spurs. I think I played Spurs a week before you. A week or two before you. So yeah.
These people just gave me these people weird.
I didn't hear that.
No, I was looking for the stuff and they just gave me all the all. Nah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
so
Anyway, we can
it's me.
talk
If you're not counting Newcastle, because I checked them just now. If you're not counting Newcastle, then it's me at
right.
the 2nd of October. Should be a really good game. Boy, what do you think? This last thing before we go, we just take 2 minutes to do this. Champions League aspirations. You thinking to win that again?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll
no, let
say
me not ask you that because the answer is obvious. What do you think about Arsenal's chances? Arsenal and Newcastle's chances? Will you have them exiting the competition?
I think Newcastle could make it out their group stage. Probably get knocked out in the round of 16.
Round of 16.
Yeah, and I say where would be good for Arsenal. Seeing the first time, but it's they still a good club. Pass group stage, pass round the 16.
And that's quarters
Quarters.
and semi.
Quarters. Quarters. Maybe a semi-final push. Is thing
Yeah.
now. A quarter-final
I
wouldn't
think
be bad.
I think if we make the semi final more, that'd be really good.
Yeah,
I'm
if
I'm,
we
I'm
make the
looking to make the
semi-final,
semi final.
I think making the semi-final for Arsenal is above the bar. I think even so, yeah, man should make quarterfinals, and depends on who y'all play.
Boy, I fear no team. Only
Except
spider can bang me, dog.
except for the champions of Europe.
I don't fear you. But I'm saying if I do play you and you beat me, like, yo, okay. But nah, I got a remedy. I got a remedy this year, dog.
Champions of Europe, you will never sing that.
Champions of Europe, I haven't sang that in a while. I haven't sung that. I would that's how I would coin those lyrics. I won't say I will never sing that. Because you know what? I do like our chances. I do like our chances. If you look at it, Inter is not the Inter that we know. That they did make the finals last year. Barcelona have gotten weaker with losing Benzema. Barcelona haven't hit the heights. I'm not expecting Napoli and so to still to be. I mean, they'll still be tough, but I would back my team playing against them. So outside of Holland anymore.
I would basically say that the teams I would look forward to. Real Madrid have a new look. I think Carter would like to make a deep run in his last season.
Yeah, but I'm watching them more, and they're playing this system, my dog. I mean, going forward, it'll be good, but I feel like they're gonna be so vulnerable.
I think this system probably low-key kills Vinny though.
Yeah, they have him in a 2 up top.
Yeah, I think it kills.
Like,
Vinny.
I mean,
I think
it's a free roll, basically, you know.
Yeah.
And we see how that goes.
Good.
We see how that goes.
You know,
Big
up to the boy Messi. Continue doing his stuff.
Oh yeah. Messi, we can start talking about MLS since the goat gone over there. I mean, the Saudi league kicking up too. But Moy, did you watch the highlights?
Nah, and I have this.
No, Moy, watch the highlights. Dog. When you watch it, just tell me what you think about Inter Miami's third goal. That is the own goal from Dallas. Moy, nobody can tell me that man the mean for door. Man, I still not there. Watch out.
I'm supposed to watch over the game, but
watch. I mean, they have a good highlight package on YouTube. MLS actually posted it. They have a good highlight package. And when I watched it, this one, I'm like, this man mean for doing that. Just watch it. I'm not even this guy. Just watch it. And watch
asking before, did you manage to see Gakpo goal from today?
Gakpo, no. Gakpo.
Yeah, they had basically like a corner. You know, one and he ran near post and kind of flick it in. Like a back.
I will check that out now. I will check it out. Okay. All right, well that's that. Thanks to everybody who hold through. We'll be back again on Thursday, of course. That is the day before the season actually kicks off on a Friday. Friday, the game is at 3 Moy. 3 o'clock you playing?
Yeah, most likely. Yeah, 3 o'clock, yeah.
Okay, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's Friday the season kicks off with Manchester City versus Burnley. Then so we'll be back on Thursday. That's the point. We'll be back on Thursday to preview those games and to see exactly what the other fans have to say in terms of the predictions and stuff like that. So, with all that said, we are out.
Thank you for watching Island Fans. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you'll know when there are new videos and updates. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and like us on Facebook. Island Fans, for the passion of the game.